So something really bad just happened. I was upstairs, I heard a loud noise and then our water pump going off. And when I came down, water was pouring from the ceiling and I went and turned the freshwater pump off. And then this, I didn't film it before, but this was full all the way to the top of this lip, full of water. I've used 3 beach towels so far, sopping it up, and there's just a lot of water in here and I have no idea what happened and I cannot reach my husband and he's not here.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Sea All Life. I'm Andrea, this is Tom, and we have 2 pups. We're a couple of Texas transplants living the empty nest life to the fullest. For us, that's living part-time on our 44-foot DeFever trawler in San Diego. Our hope is that as you join us on our dreams and adventures, we'll inspire you to discover your own.
As the old saying goes, when it rains, it pours. And that's what's happening aboard Sea All this week. A broken head and then separately water gushing into the boat. It all makes us wonder what else can possibly go wrong. Thanks for joining us on this episode that proves that boat life isn't always fun and glamorous. Not by a long shot. Ask anyone who owns a boat and they'll tell you something is always breaking or malfunctioning. It's just a simple fact of the boat life.
Break out another 1,000, or as we talked about in a former episode, a boat credit. One boat credit. Boat unit. One boat unit equals $1,000, and it sounds a lot cheaper when you say it cost a boat unit or 5 boat units. And that's certainly what happened this week. So it all started in the forward head, where for whatever reason, anytime you turned on any water faucet or turned on water at all,
in the whole boat,
right, it would drain water into the forward head and fill up the toilet and overflow the toilet. So luckily we discovered that before there's much damage. Basically, we had to shut off the water to the front head.
Tom is able to do a lot of the repairs on our boat, but until he retires, we do sometimes have to rely on boat mechanics just to get things fixed.
Which is not easy these days because they're few and far between.
And they're hard to get to come to your boat. It can sometimes take days or even weeks to get an electrician, a mechanic, or a plumber to come over to see the boat.
And right now, we don't have weeks or days to spare. With all of our current issues, our boat is barely livable. So while we were waiting for our mechanic to help us with the head, something even worse happened.
Yep, yesterday while Tom was driving to San Diego, I was just sitting and relaxing on the aft deck reading a book. Rosie was by my side and I heard a really loud noise. And I thought, well, it must have come from the dock or someone else's boat because who could have knocked something over in my own boat? We were back here on the deck. Then I heard the pump running nonstop and I heard water. I ran down into the boat. I heard the water coming downstairs, went into our master head, and water was gushing through the ceiling. So I ran up into the salon to the electrical panel and I immediately clicked off the pump. This was a great reminder of why we always turn the water pump off before we leave the boat for a few days.
So obviously the boat was not in danger. Even if Andrea wasn't on the boat, it obviously would have ruined a lot of wood and other things on the boat with water flowing, because we have 300-gallon tanks on the DeFever and it would have run all the way out if we were not there after the fitting blew off there. But obviously the boat wouldn't have sank. We have great bilge pumps throughout. Everything would have funneled through the bilge and it just would have continued to pump out 200 or 300 gallons of water, whatever we had in the storage tanks at the time. So no danger, but thank the good Lord that Andrea was there and it only ran for about a minute.
Tom finally arrived a couple of hours later and he started troubleshooting the problem, starting with the lights. We had a feeling water would gush out of the lights, but that actually didn't happen because I think it had already rushed out.
This is what DC power does versus AC.
What?
This was AC, you could not do that, and
wow.
You'd probably short out.
Yeah.
I know this sounds ridiculous, but I put my swimsuit on because I'm about to stick my head up into this area. So when Andrea turns on the pump, the water pump, it's going to start spraying from somewhere up there, and I'm trying to locate if it's from the kitchen faucets or another fitting attached to the kitchen faucets and where the leak is coming from. So obviously I'm going to get wet from head to toe, so I put on my swimsuit.
And you won't be able to shower on the boat when you're done.
And luckily, you know, I've been working out a little bit, so my pecs are, you know, not sublime, but they're, you know, they're all right.
You're looking good, honey.
For a 57-year-old man. All right, let's roll.
Baby, grab the shower cap.
I do have a mask and snorkel.
Oh my gosh. This
Okay,
I've never
honey,
seen.
I will be editing this personally.
Wait.
I'm seriously gonna get my scuba mask because as I'm looking up there and the water is shooting down and all around, I won't be able to see. So at least with a scuba mask on, I can see where the water is coming from and the water's not running into my eyes. What do you think about that?
I can't wait to see my husband in a shower cap and a scuba mask.
You know, this is not for comedy. This is to fix the boat, all right? Let's put on this first before. Okay, are you ready? My scuba mask is fogging up. All right, go for it.
Okay.
Okay, turn it off. Off. Turn it on again. Okay, off. Ow. Okay, I see it.
What is it?
I see it. All right. It was a fitting that popped off.
And is it something you can fix?
I don't know. It's a tight squeeze up there. Plus, I have electrical up there, so. But I think it's all DC, so I think I'm fine.
I don't like the word think in
No,
all
I mean
the
it
sentences.
is. Wow. So the water is a stream shooting that way. It's not like a, you know, just a
I know, I can
leak.
hear it. I hear it the minute I turn it on.
No, it's like a garden hose.
Right.
Like just shooting through there. I need more towels because we have brown water coming down again. It's just from the roof. I mean, it's just from the wood on
Okay.
top. It's, you know, it's what is it, 1987? So how
Okay.
many years old is it? So see this fitting?
Yeah.
So this attaches to the other fitting, but all I can see is an open end of a pipe. So I think it blew out the actual fitting that this was attached to, and now it's just exposed pipe. But I'm gonna go.
And it's just shooting water straight out.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna feel around to see if I can feel the fitting. That's probably what you heard.
And that would explain the noise I explained to you, right? When I
Yeah,
mentioned
exactly.
it was like
That's
a
what I
brass planter falling on tile, I would have heard a clang, right? Because it's brass.
Yeah, the pipe might have broke. I don't know if that's the pipe in there. Here's the good news. You know how we have to install a new kitchen faucet?
Yes.
Well, the only way to really do that is to have all of this apart anyways.
Oh, cool.
So we'll kill two birds with one stone.
That is really good news. So does that mean we need to go buy our kitchen faucet tomorrow?
Stat. I want to give a shout out to Butch with Aquaculture because he just changed his kitchen faucet and he taught me how to pretty much do that. I would be able to do that no problem. He actually did his sink too, by the way.
Yes.
And that's our dog squeaking a toy, by the way. We're not trying to bleep out words that I'm like nasty words that I'm
Rosie,
using.
you are a menace. By the way, Butch from Aquaculture is potentially coming to visit us in 2 weeks.
Butch, why don't you come now and fix this sink for me? Is what we need to have happen. Okay, I'm signing off and putting on clothes.
Good idea. Our saviors are here! We're so happy! It's late that you've arrived. Oh, you're by yourself? Oh, Steven's here too.
Yeah, he's a ride or die.
Yay, you guys! Thanks for being here.
Huge stack of potential plumbing fittings that'll work, that are one-hand install. I can shove them up behind the sink without having to remove it.
Oh,
But if I have to put 2 wrenches on it, then I might have to take the sink off.
Okay.
So the first step is going to be let's identify the fitting, and let's see what we've got.
Okay,
So
sounds
that's
good.
what we're-
I'm so thankful that Tom has taught me to turn the pump off. Like we turn the pump off. We turn the pump off whenever I leave the boat for a few days. I always turn the pump off, and now I know why I did that.
And that's the exact
That's
safety reason of
exactly
it.
why you
Because
do
this
that.
happens when you're not here, it would have filled the boat up with water and either cause more damage or, you
Yeah.
know, and that's when you're like, you got to rely on the bilge pumps. And then if
Yes.
your bilge pumps have issues, and,
Exactly.
you know, it's compounding
It could
problems.
have been really frightening
Definitely.
situation.
Definitely could have been a scary one. You come back and you just had a flooded boat. Not fun.
Yeah, I mean, if they've got a little light.
Yeah, it's all set up so when you got to reseal it, everything is ready to go.
Wow. Okay. They even put a light here. I can't believe they did that. That's crazy. Now, how far does that pipe go?
It goes to the board wall and then down is what it looks like.
Do we have a area where we can cut it and splice it, or no?
The one he's looking at is the bottom one, but what he's gonna do is yank it back, cut it, give it a new
Oh, cool.
circle more or less on the end.
Yeah.
And then he pushes the new fitting onto it so it gets a good seat.
Every towel we own was soaked in brown water, and my sweet mother is washing them off for me today. You know, because it's
She's
just
nice.
nasty.
Whoa.
Oh, lots of bleach.
Wow.
Lots of bleach.
Yeah.
You can simplify this stuff so you don't have to go up and around. If I can just yank the pipe down, you can put the pipe right here and get the pipe over to where it's coming out this way, and you can go straight to it.
This is a compression fitting. So when you open this up here, the pipe just slips on there and it's getting squeezed like that.
Yeah.
Wham. And there's nothing that would keep it from sliding off of if you lose pressure.
Wow.
And so yeah, it's calcified on the
So
inside.
this is where the failure happened.
Correct. It's calcified and it's all destroyed. This cone on the
I
inside is
see?
done.
Can I see it?
Yeah, you see? So there's nothing that like keeps the pipe from popping off other than that pressure.
Wow.
And I would guarantee that the other side's the same. It's going to be the same.
When,
what
when you say the other side, what are you talking about?
Hot water.
Oh.
So you got hot and cold supply.
So basically what
But
happens...
FYI, at one point last night when Tom was in his shower cap scuba gear, he mentioned the water was hot.
So this is probably just the hot water side, and that would actually explain all the rust inside of the hot water heater.
Correct, yeah, because usually the hot water heater has a lot of sediment on the bottom.
So that it was free flowing and just blasting out, it blasted everything off the bottom of the
Yeah.
tank, and so you got it to pass through.
The problem is that you fix a leak, then the pressure is going to go attack the next weakest part of the system. So
Okay, so you got to do both sides.
yeah, I would do both sides only because that one is just so
Well, of
incredibly
course.
difficult to do.
We
and
don't
we're already
want-
here.
Yeah, we don't want to go
So-
through this again.
We'll fix this
And
one
we
right
don't
now.
want this to happen another time, because like, even though I shut the pump off when I leave a few days, I could have been gone for 8 hours.
Yeah, and I can see that a lot of the other plumbing, like under the sink, has been done, but some of it has been, some of it hasn't been. So you're just getting leaks where you fix a bunch of plumbing, then the next weakest thing is the one that goes. All the stuff that you
Right.
fixed is good, you know. And
Okay.
it's literally going to go all the way down to the bottom of the food chain, you know.
Yep. Okay.
So we'll do this one right now, and we'll
Uh-huh.
come back and do the other side,
Okay.
so that way they both match.
Okay.
And then we'll check the water pump and make sure that there's nothing going on.
Okay.
Normally I don't have a compression fitting going into a pipe thread adapter. And this
And that's
is where
not
it's at.
tapered.
And it's not.
It doesn't have the flare on the inside.
Okay.
Then you did pipe thread adapter to compression fitting. And
So this was probably work done before and not done quite right.
could be, yeah. Whoever installed that faucet in the fixture.
Yeah, and people just make it work, and it worked for as long as it's been working.
Yeah,
So.
that's out. So I had cleaned the boat up meticulously yesterday, and now, oh my gosh, this is all the dishes that need to be washed. We haven't been able to use our sink or water for 24 hours. This boat is sort of a mess right now.
But what we're going to do is we're going to shut off the hot water. And we're going to cap it so that way you still have cold water on the boat. So you can use the
Good.
sink and the toilet.
I can wash my dishes and
Yes.
And then I'm going to make it to, hopefully, to Home Depot tonight before they close.
Okay.
So that way we can be back first thing in the morning and get the fittings sorted out.
Yeah,
If I get the
yes.
fitting, I'll get them too. So we'll do both sides and have it all
Awesome.
done in one shot.
Okay.
So the goal right now is to, now that we know we're not going to do it, we're going to move the pipe so we have more access to it. And we're going to try to shut off the hot water to the
you
rest
can
of the
get
boat. Exactly.
I'm gonna go in the engine room,
Yep.
Awesome.
Well-
Take my whole medicine cabinet off. Oh, look at that.
and then all your pipes are right there behind you.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness gracious.
I'll keep keep this standing up so it stays organized.
Thank you. Look at this. Wow.
And then that has what's holding the pipes in place behind it, and you can see all the pipes.
Yeah.
I just gotta get them so I can drop the pipes down a little bit.
Okay.
And then I can maneuver them to where we can put the one pipe that's leaking out towards where it needs to go, and then we can trim it and put our fittings in.
Oh my goodness. Other kind of boats have you and Chris been working on today?
Well, we were on a Grand Banks earlier today. But yeah, it's a Grand Banks. It's honestly kind of similar to this boat.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways
A
because
classic
it's a classic
80s boat.
Yeah, an 80s style boat. It's all mahogany wood,
Ah.
and it's just getting restored, so it's all pretty much pristine on the outside. But inside, the motors are—that's what they are. They're old Detroits, old two-stroke diesels, and they're kind of a pain in the butt, but they do run forever.
Yeah.
And
So that was what you were working on
right,
mostly
we're working
today?
on those, and we're doing electronic controls.
Ah,
So
okay.
we took the old manual controls that have cables running all the way to your stations.
Uh-huh.
We took those out last week, and we put control boxes inside of the engine rooms and how to run electronics up to the fly bridges.
Oh, wow.
And so we're in the middle of that on
That's
that
a lot.
boat.
Bad news. There's no valve to shut off the hot water on your boat.
Oh, okay.
I have pipe fittings, but this is all flare, so I don't have a flare cap or plug.
Okay.
I have some fittings, but it'd be so hard to get it to not have hot water.
No,
That it's
Chris,
almost-
I mean, I can handle living this way another day. If you can say yes, you'll come back tomorrow.
I will be here first thing in the morning.
You will?
I will.
You're
I'm
the
gonna go to Home
best.
Depot right now, though. Hopefully they have it. There's a solution. You know, it's not the end of the world.
Good.
I just wish that I could leave you with running water right now.
You know what? I have some bottled water and I'll survive another night. We shall survive.
Okay, well, we can be here like at 8:30 or 9.
That's perfect.
We'll just get it done, and then.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm still bummed. I wish I had it. You know.
Chris, the fact that you guys came, like, seriously, we needed you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, so what's happening now?
So we're going to go to Home Depot, or I'm going to Home Depot, and we're going to be back first thing in the morning with some supplies. And we're
Woohoo!
going to replace not only the one that blew, but the other one that's next to it. That's just as hard to get to, and it's probably in just as bad condition. So we'll replace them both, and then you don't ever have to worry about that
Yay.
section of
Yay.
plumbing anymore.
And you're driving an hour and a half.
Yep.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are the best.
My commute. No.
See you tomorrow.
See you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Y'all have a great night. Yay, Chris and Steven are back to save the day. So Steven is back. He's working on the,
The water solenoid for the forward head.
oh great.
That's this piece. Is what it looks like. I'll get to it in a minute. So this is it's a check valve for the water, and the water it pretty much is what's diverting the water into the toilet head and filling your bowl.
Okay.
So this is when you hit the button, it opens, it supplies water to the bowl of the toilet and lets it cycle through, and then it shuts it off when you let go of the button.
Oh cool.
And that is in your wall behind this.
All right. We're glad to get it fixed.
Definitely.
We're pretty excited to get a new faucet. The old one is pretty homely, and this thing leaks sometimes. So new one from Home Depot, and Steven is going to start working on it now.
Yep, and we're going to remove this right now, and then I'm going to start installing the new one from the bottom. So it all
Okay,
happens on the
cool.
bottom end.
Okay, cool. Steven was taking the old faucet.
And also the handle that you had. So we're going to remove this all the way, take this off completely, these lines which run down and connect to
Yeah.
your brass lines. We're going to remove this, which is just a holder for the handle, and we have a cap that we're going to install with silicone.
Okay,
And then we do the sandwich from the bottom side, and it just bolts it down and holds it all nice and tight.
cool. Thank you, Steven.
Definitely. Whatever they use to bed underneath it, you have this white surface on top of the wood counter. And if you see, if I bow this back, this should just unbed itself. But if I put this on here and crank it, you can see it lifting the surface. So you don't want to just pull it up. You want to put something along that lip as best as you can and press down as you pry. And you can get right up along the edge. I was like, it just works. It's what works out the best. It's always the little things that are the hardest. There we go. Very minimal damage. That the silicone will cover.
Wait, tell me that again.
So whoever put it in, they used the improper silicone.
Yeah.
And it caused it to bed really well, and that's why it came off like that. The other one came right off, obviously, and it left the softer silicone. You can see it's more malleable.
Oh, yeah.
You can straight bend this and it peels right off. What they used here is like hard concrete. It doesn't even peel. So that's the problem.
Okay.
I was gonna say, you want to do this? I'll finish up the front real quick. It's just one clamp.
Now, did you
Mark the hot cold.
Yes,
Already,
okay, that's
already
what I
labeled.
wanted to know. And then we've got the opposite of flare adapter. So it kind of worked out, you know.
And what size fitting is this?
So this is 3/8 to 3/8.
And what is the normal?
Normally 1/2 inch.
Okay.
So instead of just getting one fitting, we made it out of 2 pieces. So the 1/2 inch push to lock fitting to 1/2 inch pipe, and then from there to the compression. And what's cool about these ones is that you can install them one-handed in places you can't really get a wrench. You can just shove your arm in and kind of shove it onto the pipe, and it locks.
Cool.
It's really good stuff.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, this is the lines he just fed through the hole from the top side. There's the collar. You have to feed all the collar around all these, and then you push it up to the bottom of the faucet, and there's threads that cinch everything. I'm right there, G.
Hey, wait, you have bad news?
Yeah, we have bad news. So there's a pipe that runs along the wall here, and it's the sink drain for the sink upstairs, and it's cracked. So we have
it
to
was
replace
waiting
that
to blow
hose.
too, basically?
Yeah, although I don't think you were using that necessarily very often or something like
Right.
that. But yeah, just us putting some pressure on it, it was so brittle that it cracked, and now it's apparent that we've got to do something about it right now.
Okay. Do you have what you need to do it?
We do not. We do
The other
not.
thing, I was the one thing.
Inch
I
and a
think
half.
is- It's inch and a quarter. I measured it.
Inch and a quarter?
Inch and a quarter. What did we do with the remnants? Did we leave it in their scrap
It's
pile?
inch and a half what we were using for the sanitation system.
That was an inch and a half. This part was
So did
the
you
white
measure?
inch and a quarter.
No, it's 1 inch and a half.
Okay, if that's the case, then I measured the fitting down there. It's inch and a quarter. So
For a fact?
For a fact.
Okay, then yeah, we don't even have inch and a
That's
quarter.
okay, because normally we use inch and a quarter sanitation.
Do you want to bring a sample?
Yeah, I can pull the piece off.
Yeah, we normally use inch and a half. So we're gonna have to come back and replace that piece of hose.
So in the meantime, I just can't use that sink.
The one outside, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we weren't getting any water,
Yeah.
and the sediment in your plumbing instantly clogged the sprayer head.
The
Instantly.
sediment instantly clogged my brand new sprayer.
Yeah, instantaneously.
That's pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Yay, it works.
So if you want to come in here and look at the valve has been installed. It's been marked and labeled with a date so you know.
All right.
And then with no leaks off new clamps.
Nice.
And then wiring has been double checked, and if you want to look, it functions perfectly now. And then fills, and there's no water coming around the back anymore.
Very good news.
Perfect.
Thank you, Stephen.
Not a problem.
So you're good to go. The forward sink is fixed. I mean, the forward head is fixed, and the sink has been repaired. The leak is fixed, and we've got the new faucet installed. So you should be good to go.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, all's well that ends well, right? Yeah, after about 6 hours, Chris and Steven were able to fix both the head and the broken fitting. Plus, I got a new faucet out of the deal. I'm pretty happy. We haven't gotten the bill yet, but like always, I imagine it'll be another boat unit. Hopefully our last big problems for a while. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see y'all soon.